So let's talk about becoming more self-aware. The best way to become more self-aware is to go back to the very beginning. Sorry. Let's start 10 months prior to your birth. This part of life has to do with the mother, the womb that nurtured you, and the environment that you grew in. Looking at the mother first, let's just ask the questions, a few questions like, was my mother a happy person? Was she positive? Was she aware of herself, her actions, her behaviors, and her thought patterns? Was she healthy mentally? Did she understand life? Was she stable and responsible? Was she a spiritual person? How much did she know about finances, astrology, science, religion, any subjects that would help you understand more about who she was? Most people would wonder why I start with the mother, or why in this particular phase that I don't talk about the father. Well, since we grow in the womb of the mother, which is most important because the mother is where we do or where we do not receive nourishment, love, encouragement, support, teachings, and things of that nature. She is basically the first point of contact, and she lays the very foundation for who we will become. So whether she is active or not in your life, whether she has knowledge of healthy child rearing techniques or not, whether she lives to create a safe, secure, and non-toxic environment, all of those things, they matter. The mother is held liable for all of the protection or being the protector of her unborn child to ensure it is in a healthy, safe, and nurturing space. She's responsible for creating an environment that's conducive for learning, that's conducive for growth and evolution. This includes choosing the best possible person to mate with or to help her rear a child with. Speaking of nourishment, let's talk about the womb. The womb is where everything occurs. It's where we get fed and where we grow until we can live outside of the womb on our own. This is like one of the top two for me, the top two most important parts of life, because what happens while you are in the womb has one of the most profound effects on who you will become. So if you are in a womb that is stressful, a womb that's toxic, there is a high probability that you will live your life under stress with high levels of toxicity because that's what you're used to, If in the womb there was fighting, there was a lack of sleep, lack of food, lack of mental and physical stability, you will most likely contend with the very same issues that your mother did or does still, because she is the first teacher. She's the person that teaches you from inside the womb what your environment should be like. What happens in the womb does not stay in the womb. Let me give you a personal example. And I do not tell you this because I want you all up in my business, because I don't. But because I was supposed to have said these things long ago, because this is a part of my purpose here, I let my own ego get in the way, but I'm using my life as a teaching lesson, an example of the possibilities of what could happen, hopefully giving you some things to do differently. So, having said that, I was 18 years old when I got married, and I had my first child when I was 19. I was fresh out of high school, didn't know who I was, didn't know how to communicate my needs. I was stressed out. I was acting like a crazy person because of my own insecurities and what happened while I was in my mother's womb. And the turmoil, it didn't really stop until my father left, but there were different types of toxic, environments that were going on. Yes, I'm a sweet soul, but I was a bit of a maniac when I got mad or felt insecure. My mother never taught me how to manage my emotions, mainly because she didn't know how to manage her own. So I wasn't, good with my finances, and I hated to ask for help because of having to do so meant that I felt helpless and unstable. And I had to do that a lot when I was a child. My mother would tell me to go and ask so-and-so for money. And even out of 3 husbands, my mother was beaten by 2 of them, one which was my father. One time she got beaten so bad that he knocked out like 2 of her teeth, and she had to get a bridge put in. She had a beautiful smile, the same one that I now have. So, now when you just think about that, imagine growing up in that type of environment. Who would you think that I would become? What struggles do you think that I would incur from that? I could have been an exact replica of my mother, or a mini me, as you guys so lovingly like to call your babies, which isn't always a good thing, first because sometimes you don't even know who you are. You don't have it all together, You look sometimes to other people to see how you should be. And I say this lovingly, but with a bit of a bite, because it's true. And I want you to get that. I want you to understand that it's not always cool calling your babies mini-me, No one should want to be you or like you, even if you are the prototype. Each one of us is unique. And if I'm acting like you, I'm not being me. Anyway, I digress. So let's talk about the environment, which we talked a little bit earlier about being in the womb. But what happens once you're outside of the womb and your mother is like seriously already stressed out? She's getting beaten. She doesn't have enough money, or her environment is just toxic because she wasn't loved like she believed that she should have, all these things that they really come into play. And as you have already been seriously marinating in all of that toxicity, now you have other people that are also a part of the equation. They help to bring either a healthy environment or toxic experience to your environment as well. So you think about all these people that your mother now bring into your environment. As part of the journey, we go through all of these things because Earth is really a school. I want to really dive much deeper into the mother, the womb, and the environment issues, because now I'd like to tell you, where the cheat codes are. Wouldn't you want to know what the cheat codes are? The cheat codes are in your natal chart. In astrology, the blueprint that was designed with the stars, i.e. the planets, the month, the day, the year, and the time and location of your birth, is a designation of instructions, of cheat codes, of you, that you can use as a strategy to help you find out more about who you are, the possibilities of who you could become, your purpose, your past life, your present life, and the goal of this lifetime. But if you're too busy studying everybody else, and, how do you even have time to study you? And then if you don't have time to study you, how can you even have time to teach your children to study themselves? Or to even know themselves? As a parent who wants to know who they are, be their best selves, and live their best lives, studying your astrological chart is the best thing that you can do for yourself. In all honesty, it shows you all of your proclivities, your behaviors, how to strengthen your underdeveloped, and I won't call them weaknesses, but your underdeveloped strengths, and how to use them, what you came here to do collectively and what you came here to do individually, and just so much more. Who wouldn't look at the instruction manual for something so complicated as you? Why wouldn't you believe that source, the creator or God, would send you here with nothing to help you be here, nothing to help you be who you are? So anyway, the content I'll be putting out will help you to guide yourself into more awareness. So this is the first of the many conversations, be it, written. So if you're looking at my blog or some videos on YouTube that I'll be sharing to help you with becoming more self-aware. Let's do this thing together. Let's get growing. You got this.